So here we are on beautiful Fort Lauderdale Beach with one of our preeminent general managers, Eduardo Fernandez, who is at Sonesta, Fort Lauderdale Beach. So first of all, I want to tell you what a difference you make in our community, and thank you for who you are and what you do every day. But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you come from? What's your history?
All right, well, first of all, thanks, Anna, for this opportunity. I'm glad I could have you here at this beautiful hotel with incredible views. So a little bit of me, born and raised in Montreal from a Spanish family. My parents immigrated to Canada in the early 60s. So I didn't know anything more than 6 months of winter and snow until I realized that there was something better out there, and I moved to New York back in the early 90s.
Well, that's not exactly warm either.
I know, but it's warmer than Montreal. At least that was my experience. So, but to backtrack a little bit, so I was born and raised in Montreal, went to hotel school, graduated, went to work for ITT Sheraton back in the days, and after 6 years at the Sheraton Center in Montreal, got promoted over several positions. I eventually took an opportunity to go to New York, to the Big Apple. That was my my first big introduction to the United States. So moved to New York, worked in Manhattan, at the Sheraton New York Hotel and Towers in Sheraton, Manhattan. It was a complex hotel for about 3.5 years. And then had a great opportunity to come down to Bal Harbour to be the hotel manager at the Sheraton Bal Harbour, which is no longer there.
That
it is
property.
The St. Regis now. My wife and I loved it. Unfortunately, because of career opportunities, I took a general manager job in Wilmington, Delaware. And my wife didn't talk to me for about 6 months after that because she loved this location. But we always were committed to come back here. So after 6.5 years, had an opportunity to come back down here with Starwood Hotels and Resorts. I worked with the new builds and transitions team, and we were a team that were acquiring and converting properties for about 3.5 years. And then after that, I had an opportunity to go to Atlanta for a couple of years. Unfortunately, for various reasons, I couldn't relocate the family. So eventually, this opportunity here at the hotel came around, and I took a job here on beautiful Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Well, fortunate for us.
Well, and for me and my family, And at this point, the property was the B Ocean back when I joined in 2012. And then in 2014, Sonesta and its parent company acquired the property, rebranded the property, and I've been with Sonesta now for a little over 3.5 years.
So how many years in the hospitality business do you think?
Oh, I can't tell you that. It's going to age me, but I'll say 33.
Wow, yeah. And a lot of that was Starwood, obviously.
Correct,
yeah.
correct,
yeah. So tell us about this property. It's unique because here we are overlooking the ocean, overlooking Birch State Park, overlooking Bonnet House. There's no other property like it.
You're right, and I think every property on the beach has unique traits. For us, it's the fact that we're on the northern side of the beach. It's a little more quiet and serene. A lot of people love that of our beach area here. We are nestled between Birch State Park and Bonnet House, so the views are incredible. All of our rooms have ocean views because, as we call it in the business, our hallways are single loaded, so only on one side of the building. So none of our rooms view the west side of the city. So everybody gets to see the ocean one way or the other when they stay with us. So that's one of the beauties that we have. The other thing is, I think, we're a much smaller property than many of the other hotels on the beach. So we have our own unique personality. And one of the things that we are very proud of is here at the hotel is that we have a great culture with our employees. And I think you've mentioned that to me a few times when you see my posts on Facebook, but we always make a point to celebrate anything that it really makes our employees feel good about working here at the hotel.
And they've won a lot of awards.
That's correct. Thank you for bringing that up. So, because I was going to say it, 3 years in a row, every single nominee that we've had for the Sensational Awards has taken away a prize. Each of those was then nominated to the Florida Restaurant Lodging Association categories for the statewide Hotel Employee of the Year, Restaurant Employee of the Year, General Manager of the Year, etc. And for the last 3 years, we've won 4 of the state awards.
I mean, that's
unheard
phenomenal.
Of.
That's phenomenal.
So I like to refer to, this is the little engine that could here at Sonesta.
And leadership starts at the top. So, you just
But
want
it's
to
also a
acknowledge it.
team effort.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's really quite unbelievable, right? So tell us a little bit more. What are your rooms like? What can they expect once they come here? I know walking into the hotel, it's got a really cool kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. I love walking in here.
And as I mentioned earlier, smaller, more intimate. We have a good amount of customers from Latin America and Europe, and they love our environment because it doesn't have the feel of a large chain, and I'll use the word cookie cutter to some extent, meaning everything is as expected per brand standards. With our chain, every hotel is sort of adjusted to the local needs and the local feel. So one of the things that I'm excited about going into 2018 is that we're about to embark in a very large renovation. Next month, we're going to start building a new restaurant. So very excited about that on the parcel facing A1A.
And we'll have a patio too, correct?
Correct. Indoor, outdoor seating, a great bar that's going to be really centrally located to create that vibe. And we're going to be adding meeting space next year as well, in where is currently located our restaurant bistro. So about 2,000 square feet more of space there. And then we're going to completely redesign the flow of our lobby and change the feel of our pool area. So by the end of next year, and I forgot, all of our guest rooms are going to be renovated starting late summer.
So you're going to be wearing a hard hat a lot of the time.
Absolutely, and I'm going to get a few more gray hairs, but I'm really excited and looking forward to it. And by the end of next year, as we like to refer to at Sonesta, we're going to have a completely reimagined Sonesta hotel here on Fort Lauderdale Beach.
That's exciting.
It is.
It's exciting. So, Eduardo, you're one of the general managers that really gets involved in the community. So tell us about what you've done. I just think you're an amazing leader, and I think that really is commendable. So,
well, thank you. But here, I'm going to give you back some credit. I clearly remember the first year I got here, 2012. I started in late March. You reached out to me within 2 weeks of being appointed general manager, and you said, "Let's go and have lunch, and I'm going to tell you all about the history of the beach and how it works." And we actually went to the Atlantic and had lunch there, if you remember. So you gave me the crash course on what's been going on at the beach ever since, spring break, and then, the open container law passed, and really the change that that Fort Lauderdale Beach has gone through and experienced over many, many years. Another individual that's near and dear to me, Heiko, which actually I saw his interview recently, which was a great one. He also reached out to me and said, "Look, you need to get involved. You need to get involved. We GMs, we always have so much to do, but you need to get involved in the community with the chamber, with the Florida Restaurant Lodging Association, with every organization that you can basically learn from and also promote your business." So it's kind of a dual benefit there. So I followed suit. My first assignment was actually, again, with your help. I was appointing on the Chamber's Beach Council. Then the next step was I joined the Beach Business Improvement District with the city of Fort Lauderdale. And then when one of my colleagues, Amore Piedra, left town, I took over the chair position, and I've been chairing the bid for a little over 3 years. I was also the president of the Florida Restaurant Lodging Association, the Broward chapter, for 2015 and 2016. We had and continue to have a very strong leadership team there, and we've really blazed a lot of new trails, and we've really put our name out there. So I think now, as a friend of ours say, instead of being on the menu, we're actually at the table, right?
And you're going to be coming in as chair of the Beach Council too next year.
That's correct.
Yeah, and Eduardo, because I think a lot of people don't understand what the bid is and what it's done for the community. You want to just speak about that for a couple of minutes?
Sure. So the bid was originally created to really ensure that the beach continued to evolve and be a great location and destination for both residents and visitors. But in the early stages, the bid was more about, let's keep the beach clean, let's make sure the beach is safe. And then over the years, with a different makeup of the board, it really started to evolve into more of a, how can we promote our destination? How can we create this visibility for the beach so that it becomes a world-class destination, and people say, "Oh wow, I want to go to Fort Lauderdale
Grow
Beach."
our business.
Right.
Yeah.
So ever since that philosophy started to sort of grow, we've seen events like the Tortuga Music Festival, like the Riptide Music Festival. Air Show came back, and so we continue to look at ways to really make our beach destination unique, and also raise the visibility so that both our domestic and international travelers want to come to Fort Lauderdale.
So that brings me to my next question. Where are your guests coming from?
Well, the majority of our guests are still domestic.
Yeah.
Okay, large portion, as we know, the snowbirds, right? So Northeast United States, being that I'm from Canada, from Montreal, also a lot of Canadians, French Canadians, although we've seen a little bit of a drop over the last year and a half, they're coming back. We, as I mentioned earlier in our conversation, we have a good amount of folks that come from Europe and also the Scandinavian countries, and of course Latin America. We're seeing a resurgence there as well of visitors.
Yeah. So your staff is trained on how to welcome people from all over the world, which is why they keep on getting awards.
Exactly, but of course we also make sure that we at least have a good core of our team members that speak multiple languages, because believe it or not, a lot of visitors just assume that's what they expect actually.
So where do you see the future of the beach going, Eduardo?
Well, it's always an evolution or a journey, I guess I'll say, but I see the beach reaching a point where we're going to compete head to head with Miami Beach and other great destinations. I think we have a lot to offer. We are a very safe destination. We're a very clean destination compared to many others that I've visited. And with the addition of a lot of the higher caliber, upscale and luxury brands that we've seen on the beach, as well as some luxury residential, we're really seeing the beach becoming this great destination that actually appeals to both families, LGBT community, couples, singles. We don't cater to one particular group. We want everybody to come to Fort Lauderdale Beach and enjoy it, but we also have to make sure that it's a great place to work.
Yes.
That people can actually afford to live here, right? And also that people want to move here as well, right? So some folks, we know in our community, keep saying it just takes that one visit, right, to really get hooked. And actually with myself and my wife, even before we came here the first time around, our first visit was really it. We were like, this is where we want to live because it's nice, the weather, the people, the beach, the sun, everything.
Yeah. So Eduardo, just to finish, I want to first thank you. I want to thank you for everything you've contributed to the community, and you continue to do, because that's so important. And your 30 plus years of experience in this industry obviously is making a major difference, not only for your business and your hotel, but the entire destination. And hardly any event I go to, you're not there. I mean, you're there. So you show up, but you show up in a way that really furthers the community and highlights how important tourism is for us. So Eduardo, here we are, beautiful Fort Lauderdale Beach, overlooking Birch State Park, miles of sand, miles of blue wave beaches. Sonesta Fort Lauderdale Beach stands on its own, is one of our most charming, most welcoming, and most award-winning destinations. So
thank you,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.